Welcome to this video on AutoSys SAP BTP Job Scheduler Service Solution. In this video, we will explain the SAP Job Scheduler Service, integration with AutoSys, and its benefits for the AutoSys user community. SAP JSS is a pivotal functionality in the SAP Cloud Platform. It empowers users to manage and schedule jobs that automate repetitive tasks in SAP applications. Integrating AutoSys with SAP JSS allows you to trigger jobs created in SAP JSS directly from AutoSys. We'll provide some technical insights so that the integration components are clearly identified and the deployment sequence is understood. We'll focus on the design and execution sequence of a SAP JSS trigger scheduler job. Finally, we'll run through a demo. AutoSys plays a central role in orchestrating operations across multiple environments, including the cloud, and synchronizing these processes with other non-cloud operations. Integrating SAP JSS allows us to centrally configure process automation in AutoSys. Subsequently, we can trigger, monitor, and supervise all processes from a single interface. These SAP JSS processes seamlessly sync with different environments supported by AutoSys, such as applications and databases. This integration allows you to effortlessly execute and monitor SAP JSS jobs through AutoSys. By leveraging AutoSys' advanced capabilities, you can accelerate your digital transformation efforts with greater success. Simply define your SAP JSS jobs and let AutoSys manage the scheduling of these workflows seamlessly. AutoSys lets us build configurations with intuitive interfaces and monitor them through simple dashboard tools specifically designed for operational use. Statuses are clearly indicated, and accessing logs is as simple as clicking a button. From an operations perspective, AutoSys greatly simplifies the configuration and orchestration of SAP JSS jobs. Externalizing operations to a tool with a high degree of third-party integration means we can synchronize all cloud with non-cloud workloads. Using various agents and job object types, we can build sophisticated configurations involving multiple applications, database packages, system processes like backups and data consolidation, file transfers, web services, and other on-premise workloads. The job submission sequence is straightforward, as all job definition properties are stored in the AutoSys plain old Java, or POJO job. All the target system properties, including the SAP JSS endpoint, start job REST API, username, password, job ID, job run status, and other parameters, are defined in the J2EE parameters. These parameters may vary depending on the authentication method used. Let's look at the sequence of execution. We start with the three main components: the AutoSys scheduler, the system agent, and the SAP JSS server. The AutoSys scheduler submits the POJO job to the system agent. The system agent acknowledges the job from the scheduler and initiates communication with the SAP JSS server. Authentication is then initiated, with the system agent posting either basic authentication or OAuth authentication, depending on the specifications provided in the authentication J2EE properties. In this video are using OAuth authentication, which uses a combination of a client ID and a client secret. AutoSys allows connections via proxy, providing additional flexibility and security in accessing SAP JSS resources. Once authenticated, the agent submits the job to the SAP JSS server as a POST request. The SAP JSS server identifies the matching job and executes it. The job execution returns a JSON response which contains the execution details. Both the SAP JSS server and system agent then monitor the job until it reaches its final state. Once the final state is obtained from SAP JSS, the job status in AutoSys is updated accordingly as either canceled, succeeded, or failed. Let's look at how to deploy the integration. First, ensure the Application Services plugin is installed as a prerequisite. The Application Services plugin and POJO extension have the CFG extension. In older agent versions, you might encounter a PAK file instead. Next, download the plugin extension package from the marketplace. This package contains all the necessary elements. Unzip the package and extract the content into a temporary folder. Navigate to System Agent Install Directory. Next, we must stop the system agent with the CYB agent-s command. Install the plugin extension with the command plugin installer, system agent install directory /path to CFG file. Now, restart the system agent with the CYB agent-a command. Remember, this integration uses SAP JSS Public REST API. In our demo, we will create a SAP JSS POJO job in AutoSys. First, let's establish communication with the SAP JSS server. After communication is established, we can execute and supervise the job. Let's dive into the world of applications and job scheduling within the SAP JSS environment. Applications are crucial integration components, allowing us to create custom apps for specific purposes and seamlessly integrate them with other SAP solutions. Here, we have already developed an application ready which will be used by SAP JSS. Within SAP BTP, we can have multiple applications across various spaces. After an app is deployed, each app provides an HTTP endpoint for scheduling jobs. These jobs can be managed through the SAP JSS. In our demo, we have already set up jobs within the SAP BTP JSS dashboard. For instance, one job retrieves data from an application with multiple HTTP endpoints, while another job writes data to the database. You can easily schedule and monitor these jobs for any service instances linked to the SAP BTP cockpit and bound to an application from AutoSys. Let's log in to AutoSys. Click the Quick View tab to view the job definition. Select the job to open the job definition. The job employs OAuth authentication with proxy for the demo. When the job is open, click the Quick Edit button to view the required parameter. The first step in executing a job is to select the machine on which the job is to be executed. The first parameter is the class name, which is SAP JSS, and the second is the method name, which is start job. Now, at the gateway parameters. The first parameter is the endpoint, which indicates where the SAP JSS service resides. AutoSys supports both basic and OAuth authentication types. The methods for authentication vary depending on the type specified. In this demo, we have used OAuth authentication, so we have to specify the auth endpoint. The auth endpoint is the URL where authentication requests are sent, and it typically includes the address of the OAuth authentication server. Moving on to the client ID, it serves as a unique identifier that is used to generate a token for OAuth authentication. The client secret, on the other hand, is a confidential secret that is used in the process of generating a token for OAuth authentication. Now, let's talk about the job ID. This identifier is associated with a specific job or task within the SAP JSS ecosystem, helping to uniquely identify the job. The description parameter provides additional context or information about the task being performed in the SAP JSS ecosystem. The payload parameter specifies any additional JSON data that should be included with the request. If there is no additional data, this parameter can be left blank. Then we have proxy parameters. The proxy hostname specifies the hostname or IP address of the proxy server to which the connection is established. The proxy port indicates the port number the proxy server uses for communication. The proxy username is required for authentication with the proxy server. The proxy password is the password associated with the username for authenticating with the proxy server. The max retry parameter is crucial as it determines the maximum number of attempts the job status will be fetched from the SAP JSS server for monitoring purposes. The sleep interval parameter specifies the duration of time the system agent should wait before querying the SAP JSS API again to obtain the job status. In the event of a brief downtime experienced by the SAP JSS service, the failure interval parameter comes into play. This parameter specifies the amount of time in seconds before failing the job due to API failure. Lastly, the log level parameter allows you to specify the level of detail that should be included in the log file. Now let's click Commit and close the screen. This completes the job definition. Let's now start the job. Once all the parameters are defined, select Start the job and click Go. To confirm the job execution, click Yes when prompted. Notice the current run number for the job is 5764. Upon refreshing, a new execution is triggered, increasing the run number from 5764 to 5765. A status of success indicates that the last execution was completed successfully. To access the spool files, simply scroll down on the user interface until you locate the spool files section. From there, select the desired file and click on the Go button. You will then be prompted to specify the number of lines you wish to display. Reports for all statuses are accessible for further investigation or utilization. With the help of the schedule ID, we can monitor the execution of the job. As we examine the job, we can see that all parameters passed by the user, such as job details and authentication parameters, are displayed. Now, let's take a quick look at the job status in the SAP BTP JSS instance. As you can see, this was the job that we triggered and it is completed. And that's a wrap for the demo on how AutoSys can integrate with SAP BTP JSS to execute and monitor various jobs. Thank you for watching this video.